Today is the fifth Sunday of Lent Cycle C. Lent is the period of preparation for the celebration of the feast of our salvation, Easter. Before we set up the decoration for any celebration, we usually start by a good cleaning of everywhere and everything that is involved in the celebration. There can be no proper preparation for our celebration of the Feast of the Resurrection without the sacrament of reconciliation. We would never show up to an elegant wedding celebration with clothes that are stained and dirty. God pays more attention to our spiritual garment, our soul, than to our physical garment. You never fully own a sin until you tell it to some other human being. Once you own and confess a sin, you are challenged to do something about it. If you omit a sin from confession, it is because you are not ready to ask God to heal you from this sin or believe you cannot give it up. In today's gospel, when the scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman caught in the very act of adultery for him to judge her, they were not interested in his wisdom. They were trying to trap him. Jesus escaped their trap, but also made the incident an opportunity to teach us about the mercy and compassion of God the Father, and that forgiveness we expect to receive from him should also be extended to others. The religious authorities in Jerusalem did not have the authority to condemn a person to death. This punishment was reserved for the Roman authorities. This is why Jesus had to be taken before Pilate, even though the Sanhedrin had falsely condemned him to die for blasphemy, claiming to be the Son of God. If Jesus concurred with the sentence prescribed by Moses, stoning to death, he would have been arrested for disobeying the Roman law. He had no authority to put anybody to death. And if he declared her innocent, which he could not, since she was caught in the very act of adultery, the scribes and the Pharisees would have discredited Jesus as one who did not teach the law. The gospel does not mention why the adulterous man who faced the same punishment is not brought to justice or the disposition of the spouses. Jesus tried to ignore the scribes and the Pharisees by writing in the sand, but they persisted with their questions. He escaped their trap by suggesting that a person without sin should be the first to throw a stone at her. Starting with the elders, those with the most experience and wisdom, they went away one by one. We have to give the crowd credit for coming to the realization that they too were sinners. In our culture, where there is little self-reflection, we would have demanded the law be enforced, the death penalty, regardless of our own sinfulness. Basically, we are hypocrites. it would not matter that we are guilty of the same sins. When everyone left, the woman was alone with Jesus. He asked her, "Has no one condemned you?" She said, "No one, sir." Jesus then said, "Neither do I condemn you." What does Jesus mean by condemn? Did the crowd think she was guilty, having been caught in the very act of adultery? Yes, but in the end they did not condemn her. Did Jesus think that she had sinned? Yes, because he told her, "Do not sin anymore." Not condemned seemed to mean not punished. She sinned and was guilty but was not punished. She received a second chance. We have sinned and we are guilty, but we can receive a second chance if we go to confession. But remember the words of Jesus after confession. Go, and from now on, do not sin anymore. Please show mercy, the same mercy you have received from God to others.